Well, the Ford government is proposing removing the provincial portion of the HST on most new homes. This is for first-time buyers. The province says it's going to rebate 8% of the tax on new homes valued up to $1 million. It says that would save buyers up to $80,000 when combined with the existing provincial relief. The government also claims that the measure would spur the construction of more homes in addition to bringing down costs. However, it says implementation of the rebate, that is subject to the passage of legislation which would remove the federal portion of the HST for first-time buyers. And for more on this, I'm joined by Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy. Minister, thanks a lot for joining us. So let's take a look at the numbers. We're talking about what, $80,000 in the pockets of first-time home buyers, but there could actually be a little bit more to that.
Yeah, good to be with you, Bakari. This is a big day. We've signaled if the federal government puts, which I expect them to do in their budget, waiving the HST for first-time buyers of new builds, this will put the dream of home ownership in the sights of many families and people and individuals across the province. So think about it. It's up to $1 million for the purchase of a home. So 8% GST from the province, that's 80,000, matched by the feds with their 5%. So that's 50,000. So on up to $1 million home, that's 130,000. That's real money for many, many people in Ontario.
Okay, so the Ontario Real Estate Association, they released a statement basically praising this move, saying that this is in line with keeping the dream of home ownership alive. Let's talk about that. What is that dream?
Well, we were all young at one point, at least I was younger. And that dream of, for many people I talk to, Ontarians right across the province, and, housing has gone up a lot in the last couple of decades. And so that people are struggling in this environment to be able to afford that first home, that dream of the first home. And this is going to make it easier for them to achieve that dream. And I think many people that I've come across are thanking us already for doing this, including some of the younger people that I know in Pickering and beyond. So this is a really good news day for those people starting to look for their first home, or if they've been trying to look for their first home.
Okay, Minister, we also have to talk about what the critics are saying. They're saying that this does not go far enough. It's not a big enough incentive for young people who can't afford rent, let alone trying to save for that down payment. Look, a lot of people have to get help in order for this down payment. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, look, it's a big number, 13% off. I think on qualifying homes, as I said, up to $130,000 when combined with the federal relief here is real money to a lot of real people in Ontario. It's not the only thing. We've put in billions to build infrastructure in communities to help municipalities build more homes and condos. I was again just in Pickering earlier last week, or late last week on Friday. There are more condos getting built there. The Building Faster Fund handing out checks. Getting things built. We've also cut the HST, another 13% for purpose-built rentals. So that's also making it easier for developers to be able to build the homes, whether they're rentals. And now with this HST on home ownership, we're doing a lot of things to help people out in Ontario.
And when can we expect to see this rebate for these first-time home buyers? What are they going to have to do in order to get the money?
That's a great question. So what we said today is that this will be effective last May of 2025. So, and it'll go forward for another 5 years. If you buy a house in the next 5 years, what has to happen is I have to table my fall economic statement next Thursday, November 6th, and have it passed. Also, the federal government, who's also doing a budget on Tuesday, next week, they have to table that and they have to pass the legislation. But that's my expectation, and we're going to help out a lot of people in Ontario, fulfill that dream of buying that first home.
And as we wrap up, I do have to ask about that dream of home ownership. Should people change their expectations?
Well, you know, every bit helps. You know, we cut the gas tax for people who are using the car. We cut it pretty substantially, made it permanent. You know, we've cut the integrated fare, so one fare to take transit, saving some people $1,600 a year in transit costs. We took the tolls off highways in Ontario. So, you know, we're doing things to make things more affordable for people. This is another step to help people not only put money in their pocket, but also attain that first home that they've been dreaming about.
Okay. Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Always a pleasure.